Real estate, Bitcoin, and gold. Here's what you need to know. And the disclaimer is I'm not a financial advisor, a CPA, an attorney. I'm just a immigrant to America that has turned $100 into three businesses and then wasn't happy, ended up giving most of my stuff to the homeless. Okay. But I've been in the trenches, never borrowed money from a bank, and here's what I see. Okay, here's what I see coming um, here, not only in America but worldwide. Okay, first let's talk about real estate. Okay, and like I did my prediction in a couple of videos ago. You can check it out on YouTube. In the next 6 month to 18 month, we're gonna see price haircuts, right, in the real estate. Some sectors are going to do a little bit better. Other sectors are going to be affected a lot more. Okay, and if the foreclosure court system is open, then things are going to go work perfectly. If they shut it down, then it may take a little bit longer because manipulation is happening. So there's major opportunities in the real estate game. If you're interested in real estate, then consider joining my profit sharing. The price is about to change from $3,000 to $5,000. So if you've been waiting on the sideline, go to profitsharing.com. I'll work with you for one whole month for 3K, plus give you $9,500 of business tools that you need, from paperwork to your own online funnel to follow-ups to everything you need, from marketing assets to, like I said, to giving offers to sellers. Okay, at the profit sharing, you got to be successful. You got to have the 3K, very soon about to be $5,000. All right, all right. Now, where is the opportunity in the real estate? People ask me all the time, well, can't give you financial advice, but for me, the opportunity lays in two seeds. Okay, buying properties from distressed seller, both directions, one and two, buying properties from distressed sellers. And the option one is to hold it and babysit the property. What that means is I turn it into a rental property, or I do owner financing where I create a new note and I babysit the property. Okay, and wait for the market to come up, and then, because everything's a cycle, and then dump. Okay, the other thing is to, well, when you guys get into my academy, if you're interested, or into my abundance club, then we can get into that a little bit more. Okay, go check it out at mrnoflip.com. Now let's talk about gold. I believe that gold has hit its all-time high, which we already know that's a fact. And I think that it's going to start climbing more, because everywhere that I look at, from the TV, from, I don't have a TV, but when I go somewhere, they have it on, or from the YouTube ads or whatever. Now it's cool to be a gold owner. You see like 40-year-olds, 50-year-olds, 60-year-olds coming on the ad and saying, I feel safe holding my precious metals. And so it's basically becoming stream media. Now it's cool to own the precious metals, but the problem is that there's a shortage of it and there's delays, right? And now comes the hurt, right? So very soon I'm going to be exiting the precious metals, not all positioning, but majority of it, and allocating my money into the real estate market, because once the swing goes one way, the other opportunity swings open up, because there's always opportunities around. Okay, but as I don't like to do something that everyone else does. So if everyone else is getting into gold, grandmas, grandpas, taxi driver, Uber driver, etc., and it's on mainstream media, then I know that that's a red flag. It's a red flag. I gotta really analyze that. Do I still think there's more room on the upside coming up on a short-term basis? I do believe there's going to be more non-financial advice just for my positioning holding, but very soon I'm going to be exiting the gold and taking the other swing, which is the real estate. Okay, because the real estate can be massive trouble. There are tons of people that are on YouTube talking about buying apartment complexes, talking about buying commercial properties, getting interest-only loans, leveraging your ass out. Well, all these people are going to be paying the consequences. They're going to be highly motivated. They're going to be highly motivated. Now, going into Bitcoin, Bitcoin just hit, $12,123. At nighttime, when I was sleeping, me and the wife watched it go up to 11,000 and like 100 and something. And we're like, hey, we were wondering what's going to happen. It did take a quick dip, but there was a lot of buying, which now has caused the price to go back up. I think in the long term to medium term, I think Bitcoin's going to go up for me, and that's why I own it. but there's going to be a time where I'm going to exit my strategy as well on Bitcoin. Not all the positioning, but I would say at least half of it, because I'm going to use the capital for real estate. Now, some people have asked me, Mike, well, what do you think? Do you think Bitcoin or gold, right? And again, I'm not giving financial advice for anyone, but the way I think, I'm going to share with you how I think. Okay, if you guys can jab the like button, I really appreciate it. It helps out with the algorithm, it helps out with the YouTube, and the work that I put in here to bring this information for you, ladies and gentlemen. So people ask me all the time, hey, is gold the play or Bitcoin, right? And the way I look at it is kind of like an example of someone that's just starting to work out, and they go to the gym and they get in front of the machine and they start doing their biceps, right? Excuse me. They work on their biceps, and that's exercise. Is that going to help them in their health? Probably not. Is that going to, increase the chance of getting injured? Yes. Now, why do I say that? Well, because the very first thing is, if you're starting to work out, is you want to build the foundation. You want to build the foundation. For example, let me give you some foundational exercises like push-ups, like squats. These are what we call multi joint exercises. You're using multiple joints. When the gal gets in the front of the arm curl, he's putting his hand there, and only one joint is moving, which is this joint, right? So what does this have to do with gold and Bitcoin? Because you know, gold is the foundation. The very first thing for me is to have that foundation, to be able to do those push-ups, to be able to do those squats, to be able to do the basic exercises before I, zoom in on the biceps and triceps only, right? And that's the same thing I feel like about Bitcoin. Bitcoin is like more zooming in, where gold is the foundation. If I didn't have any gold, I wouldn't be buying Bitcoin. So first I had the foundation, which is something that's as old as ancient times, as old as Egyptian time, as old as Roman times, as old as Persian time, as old as over 5,000 plus years, if not more, that has history that men thought had value. So like that's the foundation, right? That's the push up, that's the squats, that's the pull up. If I can't do none of that stuff, I'm not gonna go to the next level, because I'm gonna have a high likelihood of injuring myself, just like someone getting into the gym and they're just doing bicep curls, not understanding that that's not going to really impact your whole body. Not only not understanding that that's going to cause a muscle imbalance, because if they don't understand that now they got to work their triceps out too, there's more likely of muscle injury. And same thing in investment. The foundation. If I don't have the foundation, and if I go into Bitcoin, I go into real estate, I go into all these other stuff, that there's a chance of I'm going to lose my money a lot higher than the normal risk, right? Because I don't have the foundation. So when people ask me if it's gold or Bitcoin, for me it was the foundation, right? I did the foundation. The foundation is gold. Like, goes back hundreds of thousands of years. All civilizations, at one point that were like it, that was civilized, they thought it had value, and so that's the very first. Once I had that in place, then I went to isolated exercises like bicep curls, tricep kickbacks, and things that are focused on one minute part of the body, if you're thinking about the whole body, okay, and so on. So, but before there is a foundation can be like, hey, I need to start a business so I can have cash flow. That's a foundation too, right? If if I didn't have a business that created cash flow, I probably wouldn't invest in gold. I wouldn't probably invest in Bitcoin. So I need that cash flow. Some people have a job, they trade their time for that, and I don't think that's smart at all, right? I think it's more smarter to to put your life energy into your own brand, your own beliefs, whatever you believe. You want to be a singer, you want to be a rapper, you want to be a real estate investor, wholesaler, landlord, whatever it is. You put your life energy into your own brand, to your dreams, versus working for the man. And by creating the cash flow from there, you're gonna create a foundation, just like doing the pull-ups, doing the squats. That's gonna get you strong, because there's multiple joints, multiple way of thinking. You have to learn multiple things like sales, negotiation, liabilities, so on, so on. Okay, and then the other layer of foundation would be like gold, right? Then going to isolation muscles would be like Bitcoin, would be like silver, would be like stocks, etc. And I think many people get in trouble because they don't have the foundation, but they're doing those isolated bicep curls, when not understanding that they're going to create a muscle imbalance and more than likely hurt themselves versus getting any benefit from it. Okay, uh, so where's my stand on Bitcoin? I think that Bitcoin is going to be one of the world's reserve currencies in the future. I mean, it's pretty easy to understand that people in China, people in Russia, people in Germany, Great Britain, I mean, Zimbabwe, Venezuela, Iran, every dude and gal in these countries that don't speak the language, that don't understand a word I'm saying, but they understand what Bitcoin is and they're buying it on their own and jumping through hoops to get it, right? Universal money in a sense, right? Uh, and the people are, casting a vote with their money, with their life energy, buying this stuff. So I think in the long term and midterm, Bitcoin's going to shoot up. Okay, not financial advice. Do your own due diligence. It's a very volatile asset. But I believe the same thing with the job. It's very volatile. I believe the same thing with the dollar. I believe with all the massive printing is very volatile. So to be an entrepreneur, you got to take risks. If you're not willing to take risks, then you got to just get a job, right? You got someone to tell you when to come in, when to go home, how to do it, when to do it, when you can shit, when you can go to the restroom, when you can go to the park with your kids, so on. All right. So I'm bullish on Bitcoin. I'm bullish on gold. I told you guys 2016. If you haven't checked out my predictions, go on YouTube. I uploaded them. They've been there. I just organized them a little bit better because I have like 800, 900 videos that I produced since 2013 for you guys and gals. And don't forget to download my free book, guys. It's totally free if you're interested in real estate, because today, real estate, in my opinion, is the best time to be a real estate investor because, I mean, commercial properties, man, commercial properties. A lot of people were saying 2016 was a good time to get in commercial. And I was like, no way, man. Today is like the best time to be commercial, right? You have so many commercial landlords that bought loans that are interest only, and they're not going to be able to, refinance, or they're not going to be able to pay off that. You have so many businesses that are working from home. You have so many commercial corporations in America filing bankruptcies, and they're going to be downsizing, they're going bust. So a lot of opportunity in commercial, unbelievable. And I think it's gonna be hard to be a commercial landlord unless you figure out how to recondition it. For example, I was driving by this big old mall when I was a kid. This mall was like hip and hop, flourishing. Today, 5 years ago, I went by there. 3 years ago, again, the mall was dying and dying. Today, the mall is dead. And so what they've done is, they've sold it to some developers where they're going to start building on it, apartment complexes in this time. But the other thing they've done with it is they've now rented out their parking lot to storage for big semis and trucks and bobtails and trailers. And I thought, see, these guys are smart because they got to make that mortgage. So they chopped it off. They sold some of the land to apartment complexes. The other part they're just renting out. So that's what's going to happen with commercial real estate is they got to recondition it. They got to recycle it. They got to figure out another way to make money out of it, because, people are realizing that they can work from home. And that's why I brought you guys in my VA book, right? If you don't know what a VA is, virtual assistance. Uh, this back in 2016, I made a full course for all you guys to learn how to have people work for you remotely, but not only in America, but in other countries, because whenever you do a currency exchange, you get a really big bang for your money. For example, I hire and I teach you guys how to hire virtual assistants in China, in India, in Pakistan, in Mexico, everywhere else that the big companies do. Wherever all the big companies go, I show you how to do it just like them. Have these VAs work for you remotely with their own computers, right? With their own internet. You don't have to pay for that. And I only paid them $120 a month. $120 a month. Imagine if you could clone yourself and have yourself do the stuff you don't want to do, right? And that's what the VAs do. They do the stuff you don't want to do, or you don't have the time to do. And instead of hiring someone locally where you have to pay them $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 plus all this overhead, you can outsource it. So if you're interested in learning how to do that, like Amazon does, then go to mrnofluff.com, download my VA course, okay? It's a full day course. I give you my contracts that I have with the VAs to show you how to pay them, the bonuses, the manuals, what they should do, what they shouldn't do. Plus, it's a full 7-8 hour training on VAs and all things that go into VAs, like filtering them so you can get the best of the best that speak perfect English, that know how to write perfectly, people that can do cold calling for you, people that can do lead generation for you, people that can uh, deal with all the shit you don't want to deal with. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter if you're trying to buy cars, if you're trying to do real estate, if you're looking for gold deals, if you're looking for whatever, you're doing the new flip, right? Because a lot of people don't realize is, you know, the new flip is where I let you download my business, right? Business, what I call business in a box, uh, where you can start a business with just $100, buy buy things from motivated sellers, and I show you exactly what that thing is. You know, I don't want to disclose it out here, uh, and how to buy it low, how to deal with motivated sellers, how to inspect the property, and then turn around and sell it high, but not super high where it takes forever to sell, but it sells like this. So you can do it over and over, where you take $100 and, you know, have a potential to turn into 200% or 700%. And what people don't realize is that once you get that business going, you can hire a VA, pay them $120, and they're making you 2 grand, 7 grand, 10 grand, 50 grand. Depends on how you want to scale off the new flip. You know, you can scale it off, or you can just work 30 minutes a day, 30 minutes a week, or you can go and work 40 hours a week or 60 hours and have a full-fledged business. But what people don't realize is they can outsource this to a VA, let that VA do 90% of the work while they're having their job, or they're going look for real estate or whatever they're doing, have that VA do the new flip for them, and then they only invest 10-15% of the time to finish the deal off, or the VA is doing, because it's such a simple business. So if you need a side hustle, if you lost your job, you need more income, you need money for marketing because you're tired of using your own savings or 401 cash to do marketing for buying real estate, then consider doing the new flip. I show you how to start a business with $100, turn it into 700% X to 200% X ASAP. All right, if you just take action at MrNoFluff.com. Thanks for watching, guys. Click, jab the like button. Definitely helps out with the algorithm. And remember, we live in the best country ever. If you're not being your dreams, well, you're gonna be reworking for the man. Peace.